Start things off with the defending premiership coach and Mick Stinear. And Mick, a different year, 6th on the ladder at the end of the home and away season, as tends to happen with a lot of the metro teams. You get your kids back from private school footy and what have you, and you've just been able to get on a rattling run throughout the finals. And I guess reflective of both teams, you're certainly greater than the sum of your parts.
Yeah, it's certainly a different year. We've played 70 players throughout the year, and with private school footy finishing up, we started to get a bit of consistency with our team. So we generally average about 9 to 10 changes a week, and just coming to the back end of the year, it was 4 or 5, and then more recently it's been 1 or 2 changes. So we lost 3 in a row to 3 good sides coming into the finals, but we weren't too far away, and things were starting to happen, and the group was starting to click together. And to their credit, it was almost that do or die in the first elimination final, kicked the boys into gear, and they've been playing some good footy, and hopefully it continues.
Darren, your 2013 premiership team was a star-studded one, it's fair to say, the likes of Tom Boyd and Mitch Honeychurch amongst others that have gone on to already play quite significant AFL football. It's fair to say this group's probably not laden with the same level of draft talent perhaps, but again, a squad that's got some guys that look like they'll head towards AFL careers at some stage. Just elaborate to us on, I guess, some of the key draft prospects that are likely to be part of your lineup come the weekend.
Yeah, we've got a fairly even group. We have got a lot of talented young boys. The top end ones, 3 in the AIS squad, and 3 of them are all injured at the moment, so unfortunately they won't be available, although a couple of them trained really well last night, Mick, which is great. But yeah, Ryan Clark's been really good this year. The young man sitting next to me has been excellent in leading, and we've got a good range of players who've stepped up really well. And the thing about the TAC Cup is that boys are after their individual honours and want to go further, but with this group I've found they've really bought into the team ethos of things, and I think that's shown in the last month or so.
Darcy, 2-part question. First one, how many beards are getting around the TAC Cup?
How many beards was it?
Yes.
Beards, not beards.
Beards. Beards is a postcode.
Yeah, look, not much. I'm a big advocate for the beard. So as many beards as possible, I'd like to see the TAC Cup maybe next year. But yeah, look, everyone sort of gets around it. I'm exposed to a lot of, $1 or something, the old nice beard sort of called. But big advocate for the beard.
Being captain of a group of your peers of the same age, I can imagine be quite difficult. But tell us about, I guess, the leadership structure and the process that you've had to go through this year, and how it's not only assisted your leadership development, but hopefully had a positive impact into your performances on the field.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a big sort of, as Boris touched on there, everyone's sort of bought in, and it makes it a lot easier, especially for the leadership group for us, that you sort of got your 22 leaders out there on the field on the weekend. So, I mean, with the Metro boys going out, and sort of a lot of the boys that maybe weren't considered to be that much of leaders in the team had to step up, and that's been really good this year. And it's all come together for the finals campaign, and everyone's sort of doing their part.
Ben, you were part of the Chargers group last year. Now, obviously, got the responsibility of captain. How do you compare the two groups, and I guess the 2 years as well?
Obviously played the grand final last year as a bond major. We probably try not to compare the two groups too much. Obviously, a lot of the players have left the club. But yeah, being captain, I guess, just gives me, last year playing, I guess, have a bit of experience with finals, and just try to give as much advice to the group as I can.
Darren, I wanted to ask you the yo-yo effect at TAC Cup level as a coach, what it's like winning the premiership, missing the finals, back into a grand final, what it's like in your teaching and coaching structure to have that sort of effect on a side where you lose a lot of talent, but you're developing those younger players coming through.
I think you've got to find a good balance and have a look at your squad and what's coming through. I've got I think 10 bottom 8 boys who will play their first grand final this year, TAC Cup final. So you got to look at who's coming through, what's happening underneath. So my coaching will then is determined by how much I need to teach and that type of thing. So in 2013 we had a really strong group who played a lot as bottom ages, so it was more the game and developing them. This year's been a good balance of developing the game, but also developing each individual to allow them to showcase what they've got. And you know, they've been really good in taking control of that or accepting that, and you know, giving ourselves a chance to play off in the grand final.
And Mick, you must think this coaching game is pretty easy. Second year in charge of the Chargers, a different role this year, but leading the Chargers to another grand final this year.
Yeah, I consider myself pretty fortunate, but I think it's the structure of the club. I know at the moment we've got under 14, 15 and 16 trials happening, but just I know Mark Smart is the previous talent manager, and now Craig Notman is doing a fantastic job, but there's just so many good staff and so many good people, and I think we've got the right balance in developing the group, and you start to reap the rewards towards the end. There's certainly some interesting personalities in our group this year, and I think the more time they spend with each other, the better they're becoming. So, I'll be super excited to see them play their best footy on the weekend.
And Ben, what's it like? You mentioned before you got to play the grand final last year as a first year player. What's it like coming through the system as a first year player, playing in a grand final, playing it again this year?
Yeah, obviously I was really nervous last year as a bottom ager, and I think morely I just wanted to play my role for the team. Wasn't too focused about being a major leader because we had boys like Darcy and Geordie to go. That's probably the biggest difference from last year this year. Really want to assert myself as the captain on the field and make sure, we can get the job done.
And who are some of the players that we'll be watching out for in the Oakleigh Chargers this weekend?
I think there's probably a fair few, but probably the major names, David Cunningham. Hopefully we can get Matthew Jackson up. He's struggled with a finger and a shoulder lately. I think some of the bottom age kids, Paddy Kerr, who's probably a bit nervous that he might be not playing this weekend, but I put faith in him to play, and I think he's definitely one to watch.
And Darcy, tell us a bit about some of the players we're going to be watching from the Eastern Rangers on Sunday.
Yeah, this week, you've got Ryan Clark in the midfield, and he's sort of the general in there. Massive work ethic and huge for us, big machine, big ball winner, so definitely him. Blake Hardwick, who won Coleman this year.
We'll call it the Coleman.
Call it the Coleman.
The TAC Cup.
He calls it the Coleman, so definitely him. Hopefully he's got his kicking shoes on. Even the 16-year-olds have been epic for us and really reinvigorated our side, I believe. And so that's Joel Garner, Jane Stevenson, and Adam Cherry down back. They've been huge for us, so they're probably the ones to look out for this weekend.
Mick, from a development versus winning the game perspective, and the same question to Darren, really. We know at under 18 championship level, when they have the national championships, they put measures into the game to make sure that it's open and it's showcased for kids to show what they can do on the bigger stage. When you get to grand final day, obviously you've got that balancing act between, okay, everyone's watching, there's a chance for kids to showcase what they've got, but you want to win the game as well. As a coach, how is it to balance those two objectives at the end of the day?
I think the good thing for us is it's not just this week, so we've got to find that balance each and every week, so we don't really change too much this week, and I don't know whether...
Does it swing a little bit though now, knowing there's a cup on the end of the line today?
I think when you're looking at selection, you want to give the group their best opportunity to win, but you've also got to keep in the back of your mind, it is a development competition and we're there to showcase young talent, so there is a fine line, and I guess you do have those conversations to make sure you're getting it right, but on game day, I guess when you don't have the group that often during the week and during the year, you can't be throwing too many different things at them. You sort of stick to what you've done and try and keep it as simple as possible. But it shouldn't affect us too much, and the way the game's played throughout the year, we'll continue to do that on Sunday.
So Darren, for those who haven't seen a lot of TAC footy this year, are we expecting an open, free-flowing sort of a game?
I would think so. Oakleigh a very well skilled and well drilled team. Our boys are very similar. You're going to see top end talent some of the best young players in the country running around. And I think our philosophy in the TAC Cup is to allow those players to showcase their talents and most of the generally all the time the clubs allow that to happen. So I'm sure that will happen again on a big stage like Eddie had. It's a really great experience for those young boys to be able to go out and showcase their wares. So, we're hopeful that the game is a good one, a good spectacle. But I think in the end, once the boys are out there, their individual honours and their pursuits sort of give way to the team. And as you said, I think there's a cup on the line, and I think my boys and the Oakleigh boys will be very much striving for that cup.